How you going, people? Yeah, that's the first video I've done after this winter storm and my sickness. So I posted a video the other day, but I recorded it a long time ago, and everybody's like, wow, you sound really good. Well, that's because it was before. This is what I really sound like. I'm getting better each day. Here we go. I've been wanting to do this 702 shooting from Las Vegas Police Department. Pretty interesting little shooting. Look at these three people here. 1, 2, 3 civilians at a gun range come out, help a female officer that was stabbed with a screwdriver. When there's another armed officer there, these 3 guys fire, and it looks like this guy is either going for his gun or about to move in front of this guy and get shot. If this woman stands up, she's probably going to get shot. But that's just a still shot, and they've cut this video, so I really can't find the good footage. But let's take a look at this incident.
Into the suspect's criminal history and found an incident here at this Walmart off West Lake Mead. Now, Marvon Payton Jr. died after being shot outside a shooting range.
Marvon Payton Jr. Now, I think they say in here he tried to grab another officer's gun not too long ago.
Las Vegas last week after Metro police say he tried.
Okay, so it looks like this guy came in a gun range, tried to steal some shit, grab a gun, do something. So he was stealing stuff. They called him and they kicked him out. And when they kicked him out, they called the cops.
To steal a gun inside the range. On Tuesday, North Las Vegas police told us about an incident where Payton went for an officer's gun in a struggle with them. They say this happened at the Walmart here in 2017. Now, North Las Vegas.
Okay, so that was in 2017. That was a few years ago. But obviously, going for an officer's gun, putting both hands on it, and trying to steal a firearm from a peace officer, even a person, is some serious felonies, and he's already out, no problem. Shocking. Our great justice system. Trust the government. They'll protect you.
Police say Payton charged an officer who was there to investigate a car theft. Police say Payton placed both hands on the officer's gun holster and began manipulating the safety levers. Payton was tased but still continued to attack. Payton was taken to the hospital, and police say he told the surveying officer, quote, "I wanted his gun. I was going to protect and serve my country."
He was going to protect and serve his country. Hell, he wanted to be a police officer. He was going to protect and serve the shit out of the police community. Perfect. They did not say whether this officer he attacked was a female, because on this incident he stabbed a female officer. I think it's probably, if I was investigating this, if he attacked another female and tried to take her gun, obviously this guy is targeting female officers. But they probably don't want to promote that stereotype because, you know, female officers just good as the males, and, you know, they're just as likely not to give up their gun, probably. Whatever.
He had a nice gun, and I wanted it. Payton was arrested for attempted murder, battery on a protected person, and attempted robbery.
Battery on a protected person. I don't know how they got that. Is cops a protected person now? He tried to grab a cop's gun. How is that battery on a protected person? I don't know. I'm not familiar with Las Vegas law. If anyone knows what that means, you can put it in the comments.
On Monday, Metro said those citizens who fired at Payton when he attacked a police officer with a screwdriver may have saved the officer's life. Okay,
I'm not sure these guys saved this officer's life. This guy was fleeing, and there was another armed officer there. To say that these guys say, see, government, if you help government and it turns out good, then you're a hero. But if you try and help government and this officer or some other crazy officer pulled up and went, who are these pesky citizens with guns, and shot them, it would be like, you know what? They shouldn't have got involved. But because they helped a poor female on the ground that had been stabbed, they're all good citizens, and the police department actually thanks them for helping. So I want to go back to this footage because this is where they keep cutting it out here. Female officer runs up to a guy with his hand in his pocket, either doesn't see the screwdriver or doesn't have common sense that maybe I should see his hands before I get close enough. In case he has a stabbing instrument, he could stab me. Rick, she's very good. She graduated #1. She's going to be sergeant, and you're just picking on her because she... I noticed the male officer isn't reaching up on this guy with his hand in his pocket.
He attacked a police officer.
So now he comes in to help her. She spins away. I still don't see the other hand. I don't know if that hand is in the pocket. If there's a screwdriver in his hand, I can't tell. I can't even tell when he raises it. Is there a screw? Look, if I'm grabbing a guy and he has a stabbing instrument, I'm breaking contact. I'm creating distance and I'm going to my gun. Because this guy, deadly force right here, if he has a screwdriver, is authorized. Now, I know somebody's going to be here, Rick, you said the cops shouldn't. Look, these cops are taking an unnecessary risk. I don't have a problem with them disengaging, pulling their gun, and ordering him to stop, drop the screwdriver, and trying to slow this thing down. But to keep charging a guy like this, you're asking he gets stabbed. Oh, by the way, the officer gets stabbed. Shocking. Who could have predicted that?
Screwdriver.
Okay, so they keep cutting it right here on every video I've seen. It goes from this point right here to this point here. So I don't know why they don't want to show the footage in between these 2 points. But I found it on 4 different videos, and the footage is not available from here to there. Now, I'm sure somebody, every time I do this, somebody makes a comment. Here, man, here's the video. Here's the full video. You should have watched this shit. Well, I looked, I searched, and I didn't find it. So I would really like to see the footage in between here and here. Maybe they're cutting it because the guy stabbed her and knocked her down, and this officer got distance. It's funny that both officers...
Monday, Metro said those citizens who fired at Payton when he attacked a police officer with...
Are hands on here, and then as it goes forward, suddenly, this officer has a lot of distance. Why is that? Why does this guy have all this distance from this female? He's got his gun back here, created distance, and the female is right here. Now, did the guy grab her, or should she not let go? Did she get pulled? See, the incident happens close to this car, and then they cut, and now we're all the way over to this car. This car's way back here now. They have moved into this handicap, went all this way, and this officer is at distance, and she's here. Why is that? Now, these 3 guys come out with guns, playing, Captain Save-A-Ho, Captain Save an Officer, I got a gun, I want to get involved. They are so freaking lucky. If this officer stood up and these guys accidentally shot this officer, they would all be facing prison. They would be charged with felonies. They would be charged with reckless endangerment. Well, Rick, you said good citizenship. Look, people, everybody has a right to make their own decision. I'm not saying these guys are good or bad people. I'm saying they take a huge, huge risk getting involved and pulling your gun, even if you're helping government. Because you only become a hero if it turns out good. If you end up injuring an officer, or an officer gets shot because of you, you are going to pay a hefty price. Probably in freedom, money, court costs, etc.
Driver may have...
So right here, she's on the ground, he's running away, and these guys all shoot. Is this a justified shoot? Well, it is, because it's a officer that's on the ground, and the government isn't going to go after somebody as long as you help government, because they want people to be snitches and helping government, because they know they help government. But don't think that government will give these guys any extra help if they do something wrong and will not help them. You are still a pesky citizen with a gun to government. So just because this case, these guys are heroes, and I know I'm going to have all the pro-gun people. Oh man, that's so great. They did such a good job. They represented gun people. That's a great job. All that may be true, but I'm telling you, luck is not a plan, and luck is not a strategy. And these guys are lucky, in my opinion. We can disagree. You can hate on me. Just don't make it personal. You can justify why you think I'm full of shit.
Have saved the officer's life. And bystanders also got involved here in the North Las Vegas incident. Police say 2 Good Samaritans helped gain control over Payton as the officer struggled with him. The officer suffered only minor injuries. In North Las Vegas, Joe Vigil, Fox 5.
Okay, and I think they had one more footage of this that I was looking at. Nope. Gotta stop this because I had another. Well, there was more footage. Not a lot more footage. It's still the same footage, everything I found. So, what's to learn on this lesson here? Look, people, you have a gun. It is a huge responsibility. Even as a cop, just because guys were shooting, or I could have shot, or I could have got involved, it's just something you shouldn't want to do, because there's just too much negative. If you have to shoot, it needs to be, I had no other option. Who thinks these three guys had other options? Who thinks that, hang on here, who thinks at this point right here that these guys had the option not to shoot? Of course they did. You always have the option not to shoot. So we have 4 people. This guy could have moved in and got killed, which would have been manslaughter. This guy would have been charged with manslaughter. He wouldn't have been a hero. Had this woman stood up and he shot her in the head because he was focused on the target, and she took a shot to the head and died, he would have been charged. Maybe not with capital murder. I think I would have charged him with capital murder and pled down to murder too. But I mean, it's just a huge risk. Who thinks if this guy missed this guy and hit a kid in his car, that he would be a hero? No, he would not. If this guy shot and hit a mom in this car, would he be a hero? No, he would not. Huge risk, risky reward. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm trying to make people think and be critical about when I have to absolutely use my gun and when I have other alternatives and maybe I shouldn't. Totally up to you. A great little learning video, I think, because there's a lot of if, and, buts, and coconuts, and everybody's going to have their own opinion, and everybody's going to, side with the cops, side with the good guys, side with the poor victim who, was just out there trying to get away, and he was protecting a screwdriver that he needed for his job as an electrician, whatever. There'll be all kind of great excuses for everybody. What happened to this guy's hair? He's not even a cop. He's out here shaving his head. And he didn't even get his gun out and shoot. What's up with that? All right, we'll end that there.